So, you know, nobody goes through high school or college and says, gee, I'm going to study X so that I could grow up and become a recruiter. It's just not a kind of career path that people even are aware of or consider or certainly don't aspire to. I ended up at Harvard in psychology, and I did my doctorate there, and while I was there I became exposed to people who were interested in the application of psychology to the workplace or to the design of work systems. So this might come under the heading of what people would call organizational behavior and or organization development. And I began to do this kind of organization development consulting as an independent. So I had to do the business of marketing and finding my own clients and you know, learning the business side of how one goes about doing consulting. And the last client that I had was a venture capital backed startup company. And he said, you know, I really would love to have you work with me and help me to create the kind of culture that I envisioned for this company. But, you know, the venture capital people, my board of directors, they don't get this whole idea of culture. I mean, it's all too intangible. I mean, certainly nothing that they would pay money for. But they do understand search. They do understand the idea that you have to hire people, and they are willing to pay money for that. So I thought, yeah, that seems reasonable. You know, I haven't done a lot of this hiring stuff, but I think I have some idea about how to go about it. But for any given job, you can say, in essence, what would it take for someone to be successful in this? Or what would differentiate a good performer from a not so good performer? And then you can brainstorm appropriate questions that would allow you to tease out those who've got the right stuff from those who don't. You know, I really enjoy the freedom. I mean, here we are sitting out in my backyard, right? It's just a wonderful thing to be totally in control of your time, and you know, I decide whether I had a good year or a bad year, or whether I feel successful or not, and nobody else is going to sit in judgment of me.